Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for the delay. We're gonna take off the Warden glasses. I hope you guys are having a great day. I know I am. We're going straight into an SWL cast. It's the best out of one, as always, for the regular season. We're gonna go straight into Border, and I don't want to waste any more of your time. Without further being said, let's take a look at the map, and then let's come back and talk about the vetoes. As we are going to have literally 2 seconds of technical difficulties with the ban phase, we will be literally a second. And as a cursor reset was just needed, we're back into the game, and apparently we already have our first DC not too fast into the game. 2 bans coming in. We are going to see the Dokkaebi and the Blackbeard be the main bans on Border. Not too surprising, as one of them does assert so much map control so quickly. And the Dokkaebi does find those roamers that you struggle to find when you have Jackal or other operators off the board as well, but you don't in this case. And Dokkaebi is gone, so they're gonna have to rely on footsteps and audio coming in from the line. Mira taking the next ban, kind of common. Nobody else would expect anything else just because of how versatile she can be used on this very condensed map. Frame glitch has been very annoying to deal with on the console. I don't know how they managed to release an update on a Tuesday, which is today's day, and still not be able to fix it. Gotta love Ubisoft, but we do move on into our first round where we'll be seeing Armory and Lockers as our first. Doc's background is animated as a first. I did not see that before. Go upstairs, nothing too uncommon for today. We're going to see a very traditional loadout coming in from the attackers, assuming they go for an East take here. And looking at the defenders rosters, they have some of those unnatural picks. You see Mozzie being integrated into the roster, and we've been seeing him a little bit more on the console scene, but just not as much, as he doesn't really provide as much value as any other operator in the game. He brings a somewhat decent gun in a C4, but his ability is subpar compared to a Mute, so a little bit of an interesting pick, but we'll see how it'll play out. Too much happening right now, as for some reason we're going to see a very, very odd play. They use the 6th pick to switch off and bring a blitz instead. Getting a feel out for the map, what was expected to be an East take quickly switches on, and now we're going to see them play a little concerning here, as they have the opportunity to just relax and waste the time of the attackers. That's ultimately the goal of the defenders. One man sitting in jail and the other one sitting in the armory here will allow a little bit of that clamp you expect on that armory wall, but having those Canadian head holes is just not going to be the easiest of tasks to get past. You can also have the Mozzie backing up with the Malusi, making it 10 times harder to get clear of security. But a double kill here for Adexi and Kex as they get off the tag, and getting Yeshua to get off the upside down rappel. It's just gunfights all over the map as 3 bodies drop in a mere 1 minute and make that 4 as the run out from Kex connects with a down. Adexi will be here to finish it off, as you'll finish Squared and Elver off, and he sub, and that is absolutely absolute mayhem on the first round. Gunfight doing all over the map, in the punch hole in the bottom of the armory bridge almost leads to Yeshua's demise. Has a minute and 22 seconds to redeem himself, but as of right now, a reset is to ensue, and Yeshua needs to look at what is next for his attack. Might not have that opportunity to reset as a Dexy reads the play, walks down West Main and takes the gunfight right off, takes him out vent, and that's the first round in the favor of the Order. And apparently 1 round in, we're already on a tech pause. We're seeing a little bit of versatile gameplay here coming in from both teams. We're seeing the man expand below and get really aggressive, and that's the Goyo just roaming around the map and just doing his job of just getting the kills, because he could be assigned with that fragger role. But looking at the balcony, the Nomads just weren't utilized in that area, and we saw that critically as both of the runouts from east side and from the balconies just weren't covered. And seeing how they just ran out to top east and proceeded to turn around and get the next kill, we saw obviously that not prioritizing those Nomad air jabs is the reason they got ran out on and lost their gunfights and their bodies so quickly. All in the past, we move on to ventilation and workshop. A little bit more of a staple roster as we're seeing the Solus being integrated. You gotta love a little bit of Solus play. Doesn't get as much love since she's lost her impacts and the ability to use her ability in the prep phase, so you got to love it. We're going to see them hold below. No Castle's going to be on the roster for some reason. You're not going to see the Castle being brought to protect those windows and the doors when extending upstairs, but having the Solus and the Bailiff and the shotguns coming in from the roster of the defenders as well is also going to allow them to watch the verticality, maybe a little bit more precautious because they have to mind the windows and the doors being soft. Maybe not as safe and cozy as they want it to be, but having the shotguns and having the verticality on the plants, the entries, and the hatches open is always a solid setup for this site. You only require a body or two in there, allowing so much more control upstairs, and you're going to force the attackers to either come to you or try to go for the bomb site, but that's risky when the floor is lava, as it'll all fall out from above you as everything is usually broken out. Glass will be integrated into this setup. No 6-pick used to switch off of him, and I'm interested to see how they're going to make him work. Early engagement here is going to either force the mute to stay trapped in the corner or get aggressive. Goyo getting pinged out as well, and that'll be 3 Goyo canisters fried within 40 seconds, which is good for timing for the attackers now that they don't have to worry about this utility later on. You're going to have the dock setting up later into Fountain, and now we'll make this his last stand. No feed holes or head holes into the east triple wall, meaning it's a little easy to walk in with no intel coming in from the defenders, but this mute in the glass is going to be a very early gunfight here, as he'll just walk up and prioritize his utility because he can see through that smoke. Q getting aggressive off security, winning his gunfight. Kex trying to get lucky with that shotgun, but going down eventually. You can see through smoke glass, but Kex can't, and the third kill will go to Pax, and a Capcan will find the life of Pancake. You've lost your flank operator and your spear entry, and almost a wallbang here as that punch hole almost catches the lucky headshot onto Squared, but right now it's a reset for both teams as they're just getting things done now and have to watch out for those Capcans, as getting that first kill is unlucky, but Pax reads Yeshua before he even go for it, and he sticks his face through the punch hole, lands one, almost being able to land the second. That's almost a double kill straight through punch holes, but the defenders are good for timing. A beautiful recovery, and now they're just relaxed, as Squared will manage to get his double kill with the DMR. Q finding his body, leaving Prez in a 1v2 situation, but still has the opportunity to reset back to site. And that's something you're going to have to evaluate. If he does hear those hatch drops into bathroom, he'll have to know when it's time to drop, and that seems to be exactly the case, as he'll just drop and play bottom metal for the time being, while the drones will look for it. Holding the custom small office and the attackers taking their time to drone. 40 seconds is plenty of time on the clock, and not to rush is the main idea right now coming in from the election. You don't really want to go down 2-0 on your attacking rounds, and right now it looks like one bathroom drop and one vent drop is going to be the main play to try to get this diffuser down. Getting your man to plant into the smoke He can see through the smoke, but they'll utilize him on the plant instead. Works in their favor as the Rams expecting the swing, and a little bit of coverage and asylum from that hard wall will save her life and give that round to the election. And now it's 1-all. Solid first rounds from both teams. Now we're seeing a more shotgun integrated loadout with the Legion shotgun. Very overpowered shotgun at close range, and not a lot of teams know how to utilize him correctly, but once you learn how to close down the distance in your gunfights, it's an absolute beauty of an operator to bring. We are going to see the same exact extension. Again, no castle with the loadout, but both the teams seem to have their same staple rosters on the board. Seeing how they're bringing the same roster, you'd say they're pretty comfortable with what they have been doing so far, and with the plays they've been making, with the isolations they've been making for bodies. They lost control of it in the middle of the round, but from there they recovered it, found the bodies, recovered from the trap losses, and from there capitalized and won that round. Reading the play on what to do when a man is sitting upstairs and trying to deny you from verticality, to just drone him out and go for below. That's exactly how you play the game. Seeing a little bit more of an interesting clamp, as we're going to see two people camping out in break room. Vux getting very aggressive and rotating back to metal through jail, and Legion using that shotgun, swinging off the man, trying to capitalize off of Vux, taking care of the Twitch and the gridlock. Adexi gets right back up from break room as he was hiding previously and gets his pick as well. And right now, the players all on the election seem to have lost the plot, as now they are starting to lose their bodies and struggle a bit. Squared now has the advantage point of just being inside, as he'll find one body. Might be able to find the second here as he'll catch the Legion off guard and confirm the kill. And Yeshua has the opportunity to make it 3 bodies in a row for one team. But it is no bueno for him, as Squared is left in a 1v3 all by himself in the site, and it'll be Kex to finish him off. And that's a beautiful round from the Soulless to get the first and last kill of the round. Beautiful read of the play there of them trying to execute off the top main. They've learned previously that Election doesn't use Claymores or Nomads, and they've capitalized off of that. Solus is the person to double check just in case they've decided to switch up that play. They went for it and it worked. They didn't allow the Election to build up their play, and that's eventually what won them the round. But seems as if we have a Glass main on our hands, as Squared is now counting on Glass 3 rounds in a row. And the order will go back upstairs. It's been 3 rounds and it's been unlocked. Azami also surviving the ban phase and not being brought, a little bit of a confusing point considering they play the head hose on security. Why not double down and play off security with those Kiba barriers protecting you from all angles? We haven't seen that, but we've seen them win this first round very easily when they were back upstairs. So it is just about how they play the setup. But Azami and Crouch Holes facing the main breach seems like a heaven. But right now, Goyo seems to be their main denial for security while they hold it, and when it gets too tense in security or break room, they'll just rotate off jail back to either bottom metal, through archives, or back to site. You'll have the Goyo playing pit here with the reinforcement protecting him. He has the main idea of being able to deny anybody trying to get aggressive with him. And the first Vulcan will stop anybody from getting aggressive except for himself, as he'll get aggressive onto top east. all operators now just playing angles here and just trying to find something. Except for the Mozzie and the Goyo, as they're trying to get aggressive. It's always important to find the first pick, and Square taking some initial damage off of the Volcan canister will stop him from getting so aggressive so fast. FNAT Mine does affect the Nomad and pushes her off the main breach, and then even a Volcan will push her off as well. Not too much to worry about for Pax, but looking at the other side of the map, early engagements on here. Goyo getting aggressive alongside with the Doc. We've lost the first body, but it evenly gets matched out as Adexi will find Yeshua. He'll take care of the Thatcher, which is also a massive pick. The Order not really big fans of wall deny, but doesn't really matter when you've managed to spray into the smoke and not be able to find a kill. Unlucky for the Order, as even worse as Squared will shank Mr. Prez, my apologies, and now they've lost the man advantage, and right now they're looking to gain it back. The case goes down, and that's a very good positive. What is Squared looking at? It just happened. You watch your teammate go down in front of your eyes, and Kex gets 2 to close down that differential. In a 1v2 situation here isn't the worst for the Doc. He has 3 stims in the pocket. He has the ACOG, and he's nice and cozy in sight. Not impossible to win. Get rid of the drones. A minute left on the clock. All that is needed to do now is just waste the time and isolate your ones. Seeming as if they know exactly where each other are, but just waiting to use out their utility. One walking to the side, and the other one will just wait the other out. If one crosses, it'll be an easy kill, but seeming to be unaware of the easy angle and will readjust that scope and will get the easy kill. That's the man. Gone, dead, and that is the round in the favor of Election. The Order had the opportunity to recover it, but ever so slightly, it boiled down to the last 2 minutes, and that goes in the favor of them. A good recovery as we see knives go down. We've seen hip fires, Volcans, an interesting round. Taking us back to upstairs. They've won it now, and they've lost it now. One time, it's a 50-50 split. Anything can happen now. Can they break their differential in their favor? Border defense rounds is not really what you want to be doing, and missing a key player such as Jeff Sicko, maybe the chemistry isn't all the way there. It's all hypotheticals, but we do see a roster change. Every time I have seen this team play together, Jeff Sicko's been in the center of his team, either at the top of the board or commanding on what to do. Right now, we're not seeing that. So maybe a little bit of adjustments is what needs to happen, but 2-2, not the worst of scorelines, and it's always something to learn from. And they'll go back upstairs with the same roster, but the mute being capitalized now and being switched out for the Moz. We are finally going to see some East play, as we've never seen these feed holes or head holes go down here. And a little bit unlucky from Adexi here, as his Goyo canisters tagged up the players walking in East, but his spray somehow didn't. In the middle of a pool of 3 attackers, he somehow managed to get unlucky in ways to build all around them. Right now, the attackers have been going for some multifaceted pushes. Not too much structure, or shall I say commitment to one side. They don't always go east, and they don't always go for the west main pushes. Right now, we'll see the west balcony as Q will go for it. Have the nice little pixel angle in the slit in the window, but right now, east seems to be an absolute graveyard as Adexi finds 1-2. It'll be Pax to find the third, and that's 3 bodies lost again. And it seems like the Order's just really good at finding these initial bodies. 3 bodies drop. Pancake here to put that statement that he's not going down that easy. He'll find Adexi, the madman himself. 2v4, plenty of time left, but Square taking heavy amounts of damage from the hatch will allow him to not be able to do anything, and he'll eventually go down from the aggressive swing off Pax on the hatch, but this time from the ventilation. Now Pancake left all close on the armory breach, and the attackers are all down, and the defenders seem to have a very general idea of where he is. He's in sight, a little bit stuck here, and will be lagging, but he'll win the first gunfight, and they've just allowed him to walk in. Very easy for him, as he'll find 1, 2, and 3, as he'll find Mr. Prez as well. The pre-fire almost has the clutch here to make it a 1v1, but Kex with the SMG-11, just better gun skill, and that's just how you win it. Beautiful round from both teams, really. They're really going at it. And we're going to see 2 shield ops, not 1, 2 shield ops integrated into the roster, which is a little bit more than chaotic, but seeing Blitz and Monty on the roster is really rare. Now we're seeing Ying as well, and with great measure as well, as it seems this might be a rush play. They have the Ying, they have the Chaos Agents on the board. Verticality isn't a must here if they can take control of this window. No Frost to catch them off guard. Only 1 C4 to stop them from getting that plant down. The 2 impacts might be a little painful to deal with, and the Wamais may put a wedge in between the Candelas. So, right now, we're in for the interesting round. Let's see how they'll play it out. It's just all about who gets the first pick here. It's either the Order finding 3 of the bodies that'll confirm a round for them, or they'll manage to struggle and let the election build up the momentum and take care of them one by one. Early run out here almost finds the life of the Wamai. Apparently, Twitch is with the force as she's shooting with her hands. Wamai taking some initial damage. Don't know how, don't know where. But again, Twitch just has no gun. They know there is a man top east, now rotating on through archives, and Blitz has taken a good amount of control here through security, and Vux taking damage as well through catwalk. There's 3 essential roamers, and right now the defenders need to do their job of clearing a Dexy. They've managed to go down once to this. The question is, are they going to let it happen again? Right now, they're just all waiting. The Vigil getting more aggressive because the more discreet you keep a Dexy, the better chance of finding insane picks here. And right now, we're seeing everybody close down on this hallway, and the first pick will go in the favor of the attackers, a good sign. Yes, we're taking even more damage. A Dexy finding 1, finding almost the second, as Squared will shut down Vux very quickly. Still outside, but Blitz will hop over and isolate him. Q will go down. Trez will get the refrag. Yeshwan to a Dexy. And right now, a 3v2 as the bodies have been traded out very evenly. Blitz clearing every single corner, and as it should be, but not looking at the rattiest corner and falling as Pax will even it out to a 2v2. C4 will land onto the head of Pancake, and now it'll be apparently just Pax to deny the complete roam clear. The verticality is no longer an objective, as it's just the election, or the Order, my mistake, to win every single gunfight when ensued. It'll just be the Valkyrie causing hell above. C4 tosses MPX, no matter the job, will confirm that round, and that's a 4-2 as they'll switch onto attack. First site of preference for the election is going to be bathroom, and now they were looking for that chaos setup when they saw the initial site, but how are they going to hold it is the question. In fact, this map for all teams is one of those that you either ban instantly or play. It's one of the maps you either pick in a BO3 or just love to have as your decider. It's not one of those maps that is so extensive in calling a trade map such as Clubhouse or a cafe, or those maps that you can really specialize your holds on, because Border can go either way when you bring the right operators or the right holds, and depending on the team, you might see either an attacker or defender-sided game. Seeing on PC, though, it's a little defender-sided, but we see bathroom, that first-sided hold, and we're going to see the castle for the first time. Let's see how they'll play it out. Order not playing as aggressive as they usually do when it goes in for entry. And I just eat my words because Yeshua tries to swing security, and apparently Brava shuts him down with a shot. Second pick seems to be in the favor of Pax, as they're all just seeming to walk into the crosshairs. Easy refrag here for Q. He'll find the first, but Odexi will find the second, and capitalize taking care of Q. 11-4 for him, as the roamer, who seemed to be on metal, is just going to remain stationary and move right back down, as the bodies are more important than getting anything else. If you were to get fried, you losing your Valkyrie with that C4 in hand would be absolutely detrimental. Assuming the position of Customs, absolutely essential right now to denying the attackers, and it's exactly what Squared will do. He'll find one, and Castle will be tasked with denying waiting room, and Squared circling back to site will be that second support. No impacts to deny the singular breach, making the default lance a very viable option now, as it is crouched and nothing for the deny. And all of the gunfights seem to be ensuing through waiting room, as it'll be Squared left in a 1v3 situation, having to deal with so many bodies, as the ace will be the man to take the gunfight at X. He will be your Overwatch on the vert, but Squared will find one, but can't find the second, as Mr. Prez will be there to instantly punish him on the refrag. And that'll be the Order again, just running away with the lead. What was a neck-and-neck game in the first 4 rounds seems to be a one-way attack for the Order, as that seems to be really picking up. They capitalized on the roamers. They found everything else. They played the verticality, and they all stuck to their roles, which eventually won them the round. We're going to see Bathroom again. They just are comfortable with the setup. They've set it up very well. But maybe the cap can, or the trap op in general, is what was missing. The attackers got in the building way too quickly, and losing Yeshua so fast to a shotgun, may I add, might have not been the best contributing factor. So a lot to work on right now, but not much. Drone economy is looking very well for the Order here. We'll have 4 pre-placed, and Ace just running it back to spawn to have it in the pocket for that roam clear. We've seen the Order very, very promising when it comes to just getting in the building and winning their gunfights, but can they exercise their ability to use their utility? And the answer is yes, as we see them be able to use their rams even after they've taken the man advantage. There's not much of a rush there. Dexy, in a world of his own, 11 kills next to his name. He's been managing to just win every single gunfight. And right now, not many people on the Order are trailing far behind him, except for Pax, and then the leaderboard is very different from there on. You can have the Maverick playing on the quad wall, trying to be able to find any lucky picks, but Pancake will be the first to find a kill onto a Dexy. And that is your Ram, your verticality operator gone, and your fragger at the same time. Pancake right back down like nothing ever happened, and that's something you should say good job, hats off to you, Election. They know when to reset and when to get their bodies preserved for the late round. They found the pick and they've completely backed off, and right now no roamers are going to be upstairs, allowing them to start playing verticality. But with what operator? You've already picked off the Ram, and now you're just gonna have to wait for the attackers to come to you. Luckily for the Order, they have 3 breaches to deal with these castle barricades, and Ace will have 2 Selmas to deal with. 1 hatch, cannot get the other, but can slightly open it if they can burn that Cade off. Trying to get lucky here on his picks. Cade sitting so tucked in, and if 1 recharge were to be used in this situation, we would see a very easy kill into the deep bathroom stall. Yeshua, a cap can trap death, as we've seen 2 of those so far. And that's absolutely critical. We might see Squared be able to catch the Maverick off guard here with a little prone on the door, but won't risk it due to anybody walking down metal. Maverick will take the damage from the hatch. Apparently 1 was watching it, and the question is the next, as they're staying very committed to it. And Pancake is holding down Vent now, as he's just the man to call to when it comes to finding the roam. Hex will get down. The roamers are going to start circling around the Ace, in just making them play a little game of keep around, as Kex will get down by the goo mine, and you'll see your Twitch go down shortly after. Not the greatest and not the worst of rounds. Just losing your verticality operator is not really the best of situations to have on a border map, a very vertical heavy map, but still up 2 rounds, 1 round shy from match points, and that is just another point to speak to as Election don't have their most comfortable bomb site as they'll move on to ventilation next. No castle, but we will see the Pulse paired up with the Solus. Talk about denial. Right now, seeing detention getting held down. Jail not to seem important at all for the attackers, but they will have a man watching that security walk in. Pulse going to be a little bit of a powerhouse to deal with here. Shotgun in hand, C4 in the pocket. Not somebody you want to get close to above or directly, and a C4 toss is what he's going to do here, and this is going to be the greatest play we'll see this round. We've seen Election rely more on their utility and seen the Order rely on their gun skill. And there's no shame in very different playstyles, but it's all about how they can adapt to each other. K1A will be in the hands of the Vigil. I love to see that. It's not practical as the boss still packs a punch, but gotta love to see it. The Pulse not using the greatest C4 toss now to end and barely escaping death, and will have the next challenge as Kex will be the man to pressure him into the fight. But Kex, check your corners, boss, as you'll go down. And that's your shield off. The man with the pressure himself will go down. And the Pulse seems to have another easy kill if they decide to walk into security without looking down at that pre-placed feet hold. Seeing it, might be able to punish the Pulse here if he decides to walk into it. But the verticality seems to be the next objective for the Order. Luckily that for them this time they didn't lose their Ram. Losing your Monty is very essential for your late round, but very recoverable. Having to do with your verticality is going to be a pain, considering you're looking at 3 operators upstairs, and one of them is just going to take the head off of you when you try to get aggressive onto Armory. You'll find a Dexy, and that's your verticality gone again. Ace and Vux, though, teaming up to find 2, but it'll be Yeshua with a shotgun to find the 3rd, and now it is a 2v3. The Order, very good at capitalizing their bodies, but just looking away at the wrong time. Vux being left in a 3v1, and it'll just be a game of dance as he'll just be contesting with his pistol because that shotgun, no way in hell has a chance against that commando at range. No need for a rush, and it's all about just wasting the time of the attackers, and now it seems as if Elections closed it down to just 1 round if they can waste time. W rate of 6 viewers. Mighty, I love you, boss. I hope we can cast together soon on the ESA, and much, much appreciated. Not supposed to break the 4th wall, but moving right back in. Vux is going to reset himself from detention, moving right back up onto the Armory breach. This shotgun's going to be inevitable to die to if Yeshua can just land 1 bullet, and it seems he will do exactly that as he'll fall right down, and IQ hits the floor hard as the Election have closed down the round just to 1. Next game is at 9:30 p.m. EST. Ladies and gentlemen, it's around 30-40 minutes from now. Looking at the 4-5, are we going to see some overtime? These teams have been very consistent when it's come to their executes, but those little flaws, we've been seeing them pay. And is this little flaw going to be going customs? You never really see anybody play customs because guess what? It's too soft. Pause. You see every single corner be susceptible to verticality. Any corner you find is just not going to be the best to sit in. And maybe the verticality is going to be something they'll keep in mind here, but seeing how they're reinforcing the hatches, it doesn't seem as if that'll be a main priority. Keeping the hatches denied is perfectly fine, but that's basically the skeleton of the site, because what happens when the Ram takes full control and all of your roamers are going to be left either off the site or stuck in between where the attackers have full overwatch onto you and just will pick you off one by one. A Dexy hasn't had the best of luck on Ram so far. He's been falling very early. Same with Pax. We've been seeing very good executes from the Order, but right now they need to grab their lead. They've had that 3-round advantage, but seems as if they've lost it, and the Election's starting to grab a hold on their play. Yeshua, instead of spawn peeking this time, we're gonna see him try to go for a run out. And right now, to no avail, as there's nobody close to him, and they will rappel up from detention. Potentially a kill here on his hands, but to no avail. Right now, Vux will find the first kill all the way over in the main lobby. He'll find the second as he has direct entry into the site. No quick reaction, and Key will be there to prance on the refrag, and he'll find that. Yeshua onto Pax, and it's a 3v3. 2v3 and a 1v3 as Dexy and Prez have linked up, and now they're looking much more alive. This is the Order we've been seeing on their defense rounds, and they've taken that advantage, and the plan seems to be going down very soon. Legion missing that hop-in capitalization, and now he's going to have to deal with the person sitting bottom west main. Everybody's just going to be waiting for him, and check right below you as you'll react. Very slow, but the hip fire will take the head off of a Dexy. Very unlucky for him. But the attacker's so passive now. Not much to do here, but sit back, relax, and wait for that run and the clock to run out, as now it's just going to be a 1v1 as Keck's trying to go for a one-tap. A little bit of a troll here because he knows no matter what happens between this gunfight, his teammate will have the AK-12 all the way backed out into the site. Live pings will allow him to try to have a higher increased chance of finding that headshot. And Pancake still trying to desperately win this as the IQ will one-tap, and that's Keck's to call it. And that is 4-6. Finally, the Order has found their groove again, and they're on to match point. Timeout is going to be requested, and that's what you like to see here. You like to see the teams call their timeouts and get humble when it needs to all boil down to the last 5 minutes or the last 5 rounds of the game. We're seeing both teams have very good essential pushes when it comes to either clearing the roamers or holding down the site. But what we're not seeing is those final capitalizations, as we're finally seeing teams find their grooves and find those 1v1s, but we're not really seeing them capitalize. It's from round to round, and that's not what you want when it's closing down to the 4-6, 4-5 end of round areas. And right now, the Order's found themselves in a situation where they're on match point. And as the Election have their bathroom site, their beloved bathroom site, back on the board, they'll have that opportunity to bring it down to 5-6 and just close it down to a 1-round advantage. As we speak of the bathroom, it's like I'm a genie as we take that straight right back down onto it. And the main thing we've seen from the Election is their fork-styled flanks. They'll have 3 roamers, and one will play aggressive, the other one will swing off of that, and the other one will swing off of that. The only problem with that is when one of them gets first pick, it's not the greatest idea to continue with that, but they have capitalized on the mistakes of the Order, I may say, with not bringing the IQ and just sneaking cap cans in these sneaky little corners is what has led to very easy kills here for Yeshua. He's managed to get 2 cap can kills, if I'm not mistaken, and allowed his roamers to roam more comfortably because the attackers have to worry about those traps hidden in the corner. Yeshua doubling up his cap cans essentially to find an essential kill wherever it goes, using 3 on a door and 2 on the other. Either a confirmed kill or a confirmed down will be in the hand, unless it is going to be a shield off on the board, which we do not see. Sophia a little bit more integrated into the rosters ever since she's been receiving a hard breach buff, and that's something the developers have finally listened about. We haven't seen much of her. I would love to see her withstands come back, but right now we're seeing a very extensive push coming in from the Election. Kex and Adexi, very aggressive, and it's been working out in their favor for some rounds now. Seeing the cap cans will take care of them. That would have been catastrophic here for the attackers if they weren't to find those nice and easy. And it looks like this is going to be a West main push, as the Zofia will team up with Pax to try to take control of Customs, and Pax will be here to find first blood. And now they've taken the Customs control. Soon after will be the ventilation if they can force people into the site and start setting up for their execute. Roamers are still a main objective to worry about, but you'll have the Zofia to be your manual flank watch. And not a lot of action here in the main lobby is going to make the Vigil a little useless on his roam. Elver from within sight will land a headshot onto Pax, redeeming himself. Kex will find the second, making the man advantage for the castle. Short-lived in a short victory will mean he'll have to go out swinging again. And go out swinging is not on the clock as he'll find 1 to 2, and Kex is just frying from within. It'll be pressed to capitalize. And an absolute swift gunfight will take us to the map, and it's over. The Order using that timeout for themselves and finding it within to find every single gunfight. And it's worked in their favor as they've taken it home and called the game theirs. What a game from both teams. You've seen both of them really try to capitalize when it's come to those 1v1 situations or coming down to just clearing the site. And it's respect and good game to both teams. A well-deserved 3 points from the Order. Even without their main man, Jeff Sicko, props and congratulations to you, Adexi, and the rest of your team. And ladies and gentlemen, we will be back after 30 minutes for another game on here. It'll be Wave versus Void. I don't know if we'll end the stream. We'll put on a waiting room and we'll see what it is. Thank you guys. Thank you, Mighty, for the raid, and we'll be right back